It started like every normal morning. The sun had barely risen, and the streets were just waking up. Vendors arranged their goods, buses honked impatiently, and parents rushed their children to school before the morning bell. "David, hurry up," his mother called from the doorway, adjusting her handbag nervously. "We're going to be late." "I'm coming, Mummy," the little boy replied, struggling to zip up his school bag. His father, standing by the car, smiled. This boy and his morning drama. David finally ran out, slightly out of breath, his tiny shoes barely tied properly. "Daddy, will you pick me today?" he asked. His father hesitated for a second. "I might be late from work, but Mummy will come." "Okay." David nodded, satisfied. They didn't know. That would be the last normal conversation they'd have with him. The school gates were busy as usual. Parents dropped off their kids, teachers guided them in, and security guards kept watch lazily. David hugged his mother tightly. "Bye, Mummy. Be a good boy, okay?" she said, kissing his forehead. "I will." His father waved. "Champion." David smiled and ran into the school compound. And just like that, he disappeared from their lives. Hours later, the sun was high, and the school day had ended. David's mother arrived at the gate, scanning the crowd of children rushing out. But she didn't see him. At first, she wasn't worried. Maybe he's still in class, she thought. She walked inside. "Excuse me, Ma," she asked his teacher, forcing a smile. "David isn't outside yet." The teacher frowned. "David left already." Her heart skipped. "Left? With who?" "With you," the teacher replied casually. "Your brother came to pick him up. He said you sent him." Everything froze. "My brother?" "Yes." He said his name was Tund. He looked just like family. David even called him uncle. Her hands started shaking. "I don't have a brother named Tund." Panic exploded instantly. Within minutes, the school was in chaos. Teachers whispered. Parents gathered. The security guards were questioned. "Did you see the man?" David's father demanded angrily when he arrived. One of the guards scratched his head. Yes, he looked familiar. He greeted everyone confidently, even knew the boy's name. "Did you check anything?" the father shouted. He said he was family. "That's not enough," he snapped. The police got involved. Statements were taken. CCTV footage was checked. And there he was. A man in a simple shirt, calm, smiling, holding David's hand like he belonged there. No struggle. No fear. David walked with him willingly. Like he trusted him. Like he knew him. That was the most terrifying part. Days passed. No calls. No ransom. Nothing. The silence became louder than any scream. David's mother stopped sleeping. Every sound at night made her jump. "Maybe he's hungry," she whispered one night, crying softly. "Maybe he's scared." Her husband sat beside her, broken but trying to stay strong. "We'll find him," he said, even though he didn't believe it anymore. Then something strange happened. On the fourth day, a letter arrived. No address. No name. Just a plain envelope, dropped at their gate. Inside was a single sheet of paper. It read, "You shouldn't have ignored him." Confusion replaced fear. "Ignored who?" the mother whispered. The father frowned. "This is not about money." They took the letter to the police. "Could be psychological," the officer said. "Kidnapper playing games." But the father shook his head slowly. "No, this is personal." That night, he couldn't sleep. He kept staring at the letter. You shouldn't have ignored him. Then suddenly, a memory hit him. Something small. Something he had forgotten. Or maybe, something he chose to forget. Weeks earlier, a man had come to their house. He looked tired, desperate. "Sir, please. I need help," the man had said. "I lost my job. My family is struggling." The father had been in a hurry. "I'm sorry, I can't help right now," he replied coldly, barely looking at him. "Please, even anything." "I said I can't," he snapped and shut the door. Now his heart started pounding. "No," he whispered. "It can't be." The next morning, he rushed to the police. "I think I know who took my son." They tracked the man. It wasn't easy. No records. No stable address. But eventually, they found a lead. An abandoned building at the edge of town. The police prepared for a raid. David's parents insisted on coming. "Please," his mother begged. "I need to see my son." They arrived quietly. The building was silent. Too silent. The officers signaled and moved in carefully. Room by room. Nothing. Until a small voice echoed faintly. "Mummy." Everything stopped. "That's him," his mother cried. They ran toward the sound. And there he was. David. Sitting on the floor in a dim room. Alive. His mother rushed to him, holding him tightly. "David, my baby. I missed you," he said softly. But something felt off. He wasn't crying. He wasn't scared. He was calm. Too calm. "Where is the man?" the father asked sharply. David pointed to the corner. The police turned. But there was no one there. "David? Who brought you here?" his mother asked gently. "The uncle," he replied. "Where is he now?" David smiled faintly. "He said he's always here." A chill ran down everyone's spine. The police searched the entire building again. No sign of the man. No footprints. No evidence. Nothing. It was like he never existed. Back home, things didn't feel normal anymore. David would sometimes sit quietly, staring at nothing, smiling, whispering, "Uncle says I shouldn't tell." His parents were terrified. One night, his father finally asked, "David, what does Uncle want?" The boy looked at him and said something that froze his blood. He said, "You remembered too late." The room went silent. The next morning, David was gone again. No broken doors. No windows open. No sound. Just an empty bed. And this time, there was no letter. Only a faint whisper that his mother swore she heard in the room. "You shouldn't have ignored me." And no matter how hard they searched, David was never found again.